was today, as you would expect, kicking off with the Racing Post, the Trade Daily, simply saying fantastic. I think that was the general feeling of all of us yesterday when he was crowned the champion there, champion sportsman, the sports personality, the first jockey since the award's inception, 1954, to win the award. And I'm delighted to say he joins us on the phone now.
Good morning. It's kind of an unbelievable feeling to be nominated for such a prestigious award, but winning it is something I never thought possible. So for that, I should thank all my colleagues and everyone in racing who obviously spent quite a lot of time and money on their phones last night. So I'm very appreciative of it, and I'm a very lucky person.
I mean, you polled more than 40% of the total vote, AP, and that's a staggering runaway victory, isn't it, by any standards?
Yeah, obviously without all the people in racing, that wouldn't have been possible, because obviously for the last few weeks there was quite a lot of support, and for that I say I'll always be grateful, and but there was obviously quite a few people who had their phones on speed dial last night, so I should think they could be wanting a few pounds for their phone bills at the end of the month, I would think.
So what was the evening like, AP? Was it, I mean, the 12,000 people there, were you nervous, excited, all of those things, I guess?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. It was just an unbelievable feeling to be in a room full of so many amazing sports people who I look up to and watch all the time, and to be able to, to stand there holding that award is an unbelievable feeling. You look down in front of you, and you have people like Freddie Flintoff and Ryan Giggs and David Beckham, and you name it, one after the other, that they're all sat down in front of you. So it's something that as I said, I will never forget, and I'm very grateful for all the people in racing who have given me such amazing support.
Well, there's almost been a groundswell of acknowledgement of your fantastic achievements, AP, because you won the very prestigious Sports Journalists Association Award as Sportsman of the Year last week, and then this one is almost like the icing on the cake. How does this award compare to anything else that you've ever won in your career?
Yeah, it's right up there. I mean, obviously, winning the Grand National was the greatest day of my racing life, for obviously very obvious reasons. I always said it, that breaking Sir Gordon Richards' record was definitely my greatest achievement, because I just it was a record that was there for 55 years by someone who was 26 times champion jockey, the winning most jockey of all time, and to break a record that was set by someone like him, and obviously without riding for the people that I've ridden for, I wouldn't be able to achieve that. Obviously starting from the late Dirty Rock to be lucky enough to work for Jim Bulger for as long as I did, to come and work for Toby Balding, who was a great mentor and had such great respect in this country. And then obviously to work for the amazing Martin Pipe, who was 15 times champion trainer. The year I broke Sir Gordon Richards' record, I rode 189 winners for him, which is unheard of. And obviously in more recent times for John Joe Neal and for JP and Northern Atlantis, I'm very privileged to have worked for the people that I have.
AP, do you think that record of, was it 289 winners in one season, which is a staggering amount, do you think that's the one record that you've set that will last longest?
I don't know, Mike, because no matter however well you do in sport, or however well you think you are, or someone else might think you are, there will always be someone who will do better and who will win more, and that's a fact. There is always someone who will achieve more than someone else, and I just hope that I hope that record stays there for a little while, or stays there for long enough so that whoever is going to beat it is going to be a pretty sore, tired, and sorry person by the end of it. But you know, as I said, I had a lot of luck. You know, you look at winters now. You know, the way they are with the weather, especially at the moment. You know, in that winter, I obviously had a pretty good winter weather-wise, injury-wise and suspension-wise. So you do need an awful lot of luck and to ride that number of winners in a season, you know.
But I mean, AP, you mentioned the winter, and at the moment the big freeze is on. And are you happy to actually just sit there and just reflect on your career so far, or are you as restless as ever to get back out there and ride a whole load of more winners?
Do you know, for the first couple of the days when the weather was bad, it was quite nice because I had a few falls and I was quite sore, and so I was quite happy to have a day or two off. But now it's kind of depressing. You know, we've missed so many good races, and you're kind of hoping that it's going to get better for Boxing Day. But looking outside, I'm not even sure we can be hoped for that. You know, but you know, racing is what we love doing. So hopefully, the sooner we get back doing it, the better.
Well, I was going to say, how do you cope with that? Being as as professionally dedicated as you are, it must be a nightmare to be around you when there's no racing on for so long.
Yeah, you know, as I said, it's okay for the first few days because you're quite happy to have had the few days rest, because we obviously did quite a lot of racing for 6 or 7 weeks. But we got to we got to live as well. So
yeah,
and obviously I feel for some of the other lads because obviously they've. You know, a lot of them have got families and they rely on having rides and having a few winners, and it can be quite tough financially for them at this time of the year.
Well, it's typically you who should be thinking about other people again. But just back to you now. What is there left for you to achieve? What ambitions do you have left? I mean, are you quite keen to still crack the 4,000 winner barrier? I mean, I think you're about 700 away from it.
Yeah, I'll have to keep going a while for that to happen. I'm very much. I've always, as a jump jockey, you kind of live by the day, and I'm obviously very proud of what I've achieved, and my goal has always been to be champion jockey at the beginning of every season. It's pretty much the same as this one. As I said, that's the main aim. But I'm a lucky person. I work with an amazing bunch of lads, with a great bunch of people in racing. So I'm definitely a lucky person.
I think you've mentioned in the press earlier this week that the one race you haven't won, which you'd like to win, would be the Welsh National. Is that still something you'd like to tick off the list eventually?
I've obviously been lucky enough to win the other nationals.
Yeah.
So I haven't actually ridden that much in the Welsh National for whatever reasons. But it'd be nice to win it. Because
you're usually at Kempton and other places like that, I guess. I suppose.
Yeah, you could be in Kempton in Ireland, so it would be nice to win it. So
sure,
we'll see.
Sure. Just finally, before you go, it must have been a great thrill being a massive Arsenal fan that Cesc Fàbregas, the club captain, should be there to part present the trophy to you last night.
Yeah. Obviously, I've been an Arsenal fan since I was a kid because of the likes of Liam Brady and Pat Jennings, who obviously were Arsenal players and were Irish. So. But to receive the award off Cesc was a great honour. As I said in my speech, I think I had to apologise to him for being one of the idiots that keeps roaring at him whenever I'm there. So, but yeah, it's nice to as I said, to get to meet the captain of the club you support. So to receive an award from him was very special.
Yeah. Well, AP, everybody's absolutely made up for you. I got loads of texts. I think we all had loads of texts. Everybody saying how pleased they were you won it, and it was a very emotional night. We wish you all the very best and a huge congratulations from all of us here at ATR.
Thanks a million, Mike. As I said, it was very nice that so many of my colleagues were there as well last night. So we had a good night celebrating. So thank you all.
So AP's career began at Thurles way back in 1992 when he had his first winner there called Legal Steps, and then at Exeter in September of 1994 it was Chickabiddy that got him off the mark here on the domestic scene.
As Bravo Star gives way, Cornhill looking for room there. Sophism looks beaten and is not finding much under the whip. In the meantime, the leaders come towards the final flight now, and Chickabiddy throws down a big challenge to Just Rosie. There's not much between these two at all as they come towards the final flight. You couldn't separate them there. It's Chickabiddy and Just Rosie, and Chickabiddy possibly getting her head in front here as she goes up towards the line. Just Rosie fighting back. But Chickabiddy is staying on the stronger and is going to win it. Chickabiddy wins it by a length and a half or so.
Racing down towards the final flight. David Dennis the near side. My good son, AP McCoy. Mighty Montefalco on the inside. And Mighty Montefalco goes on at the final flight. Mighty Montefalco goes on. My good son is back in second and he's not done with yet. Well inside the final furlong. Mighty Montefalco now has a rail to help. He's got the mighty man aboard. Tony McCoy will not be denied. Here's the record, 1,700, a supreme master.
Tony McCoy looms up on the inside. He's going well on Restless Darte. The package is stand side. Sebastiano is third. 2 fences left to jump. Restless Darte is inside. On the outside, it's the package. They settle down to battle it out. The package this side. Restless Darte the far side. 1 more fence left to jump. The package this side, Timmy Murphy. Tony McCoy going for the 3,000 on Restless Darte. Here they jump the last. In the air together. Restless Darte on the far side. The package this side. Can Tony McCoy get it? Here he comes. He's coming towards the line. It's 3,000 for AP McCoy.
And the great AP has added 300 more to that particular milestone since then. It's incredible. You know, he's heading off towards his 4,000th winner now. And of course, we saw Mighty Montefalco. That was the occasion which he beat Richard Dunwoody's long-standing record of 1,799 winners. Now, AP has won a lot of races by long distances in his time, but this one, the Sports Personality of the Year votes, well, it was an absolute runaway victory, wasn't it, by our 15 times champion jockey? 293,152 votes, miles clear of anything else. I mean, Phil Taylor, who was in second place there, the 15-time World Darts champion, polled 72,000 and loose change there. Jessica Ennis, 62,000. And the 2 golfers, Lee Westwood and Graham McDowell, polled just over 110,000 between them. It was comprehensive, wasn't it? Wonderful. Well, AP, of course, has outlined 10 of his best rides in the press recently. One of them involved one of his personal favourites, Brave Inca.
Towards the second last, it's Brave Inca in the lead, being followed by Max Joy. Then comes Archibald and Publican as they go now towards the second last. Brave Inca going to rise in the lead from Max Joy. Archibald on the outside as they race round the home turn, beginning the long run now to the final flight. And Brave Inca in the lead from Max Joy. Archibald is third and Publican on the inside. Coming off the turn now, beginning the run to the final flight. Brave Inca being ridden along in front. Max Joy on the outside. Then Archibald and Publican as they race down towards the final flight now. It's Max Joy and Brave Inca. Archibald makes 3 in line, coming up on the near side, coming down towards the final flight now. Not much between the 3. Archibald going to rise just in the lead. Max Joy, Brave Inca, Republican almost down at the last. They're inside the last 200 yards. Archibald with Brave Inca, putting in a tremendous run the inside. Brave Inca wins the AMO Royal Champion Hurdle.